Dun, 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 dun. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to the next thrilling, astounding, amazing, ebullient, and effervescent, irreproachable, irreplaceable, inimical, abominable, castigated, taciturn, and saturnine episode of the loquacious, obsequious, vindictive, and vindicated reading cow from another world show thing that this is. My God, you don't know. We're in the quarantine of the coronavirus here in America at this point, and I've been trying to be productive since I don't have a job anymore. My school closed down, so if you want to send me a tip to my PayPal, david00289@yahoo.com. I could get some food for my family or something. Anyway, I want to continue. You know, we're learning to read Chinese here, and we were just on the next sentence in our book that said, in the ancient times, a lot of names had the female radical next to them. 古代的姓多为名字旁，如神农、姓姜. Okay, the Shenong guy or his tribe or his family, their name was Ginger. 皇帝姓姬, and the Huangdi's name was Ji. And Yao Shun Xing Yao. Now, okay, I think I may have said like Yao Shun Zhishui, or maybe I maybe wrote it. And this guy, Yao Shun, he's like the fifth and last of a series of legendary emperors in that. But you shouldn't say Yao Shun Zhishui. Actually, it was his successor, just to be clear, that got that. Let me write the name of the story down here. It's Yu the Great, Da Yu, and controlled the water, and you see, it recognized it, and it's a different. The character Yu is a different one for this one, right? So the story of this guy. You just have to type in Da Yu Zhishui and you can look it up. Yu the Great controls the waters, and you can read about the story of him. He's actually it's not Yao Shun Zhishui, it's Da Yu Zhishui. And Da Yu is the successor, his predecessor is Yao Shun. And that's, folks, that's part of the reason I'm here, because I was in China for 7 years or so, and very few times I met people that spoke really good Chinese that were foreigners. But across the board, when I did, I found that although they could speak Chinese, in many cases much better than I could, practical Chinese or whatever, they didn't know. If you started talking about Chinese people, and you know, when you talk about Chinese people, you have to say their name, right? What their name is. And I was profoundly disturbed to find, like, you know, one guy I met, which was, he had been in Beijing since the 80s. He had lived there as like a chief correspondent for, I don't know, NBC or something. You know, he was like a big newscaster guy. And I started talking to him about, you know, some stuff, and, you know, Sima Guang. So you say something like Sima Guang, and the guy's like, wait a minute, I can't understand anything you're saying. Or how about Sima Qian? You know, or Kongzi, or you know, if you start talking about actual Chinese people, Lin Biao, what the? He's like, I can't understand a word you're saying. What are you talking about? And the guy was like just speaking to me in fluent Chinese, right? And I say Lin Biao, and he can't understand, or Peng De Huai. And that was another. There was some Western scholar of political economy, and he kept saying Peng De Huai. And it's like, it's Peng De Huai. And it really sounds like something different. So it's like on the one hand, you meet these people that know Chinese really well, but they don't know any Chinese people. And to me, that's disturbing. And then you meet other people that are supposed to know about Chinese people, and they can't even say their name properly. It's not Peng De Huai. It's Peng De Huai. And, I'll be the first to say that I'm really bad at Chinese pronunciation, but, that's pretty bad. Peng Zhuang De Peng. Peng De Huai. Huai Diao. No, that's not right. Okay. So there's another thing that kind of inspires me, being an Irish American. As you grow up and you're in Irish culture and everything, and you learn about your culture, there's a lot of Catholicism, and the Catholicism, did some good things for Ireland. Our culture being very literate is in part in owing to that monastic tradition. But as you get older, you come to realize that the Catholic Church in Ireland really busied itself with the assiduous erasure of Irish history. Now, what do I mean by that? The problem that you run into is that the Bible, when you go back to the time of Moses and then the flood of Noah's Ark or whatever, these people, it doesn't look like they really existed. So we don't have much historical evidence. There's a lot of kind of bullcrap propaganda that says, oh, they found Noah's Ark. It's not really true. And if you try to find evidence of a global flood, there's no geological contiguous sedimentary layer that would indicate anything being such a possibility. Now, also the fact the story of Noah's Ark was plagiarized from a Babylonian myth called the Epic of Gilgamesh, and in the Epic of Gilgamesh, it was like Easter, the goddess, or she got irritated because when man flourished over the earth, he made too much noise, and so she wanted things to quiet down, and so she sent a flood, and Utnapishtim builds an ark and everything. It's like the same story, and then the subsequent people changed it for their own religion. They adopted it, the way the Romans adopted Greek gods and gave them Roman names and stuff like that. They adopted that and they changed it so history would begin with them. But the problem with that, fundamental problem with that, is that it's not true. And when that religion, the Christian religion, became the official religion of the Roman government, the Roman imperial forces set to work to kind of make that the law of the land. The Pontifex Maximus was the government of that. Now, what does that mean for a person like me, an Irish American growing up and trying to learn about my history and culture? It means that when I go back to a certain point in history, I find that the church is destroyed and erased a lot of ancient history to a point where it's a total mystery. We find evidence of really, really great ancient civilizations in Ireland that we don't know anything about them because they couldn't be, because it didn't fit with Noah's Ark or whatever like that. So, I went through a stage in my growth and development where I realized the tragedy of that and the loss of that. And I think that's part of what I like to convey in teaching you to read Chinese is that ancient history is full of amazing events that transpired and great lessons to be learned. And it's also full of, amazing people and heroes. And it's full of bad guys that you should learn to watch out for that kind of person. So part of what I'm doing in teaching you to read Chinese is to teach you to appreciate that there are a lot of great people out there, and you should know something about them, and they can provide examples for you on how to live your life. So we talked about some of them: Huang Di and Shen Nong and Yao Shun. And you can any of these guys, you can type in the pinyin and look them up on Wikipedia and read all about them, and maybe I'll get to them. But for the moment, let's continue with our next Chinese reading lesson. We're going to continue with the next example. Let's see what we have. Am I in the right mode? All right. Xia Chao. Okay, that's going to be the Xia dynasty, right? Don't forget that. See, it figured it out just when I typed in the pinyin. Let's see, what do I need here? I need number 5, right? And this is a hard one. You know, look, I'm going down the line. Do you see that? Now I know what that is, but see, this is a character that's an old and it's an ancient character, and what you find is that, see how far down in the list that was? There it is right there. So I hit 6. Is that the right one? Yeah, that certainly is the right one. Now, I want to review again, like, okay, what does this say? It says in the Xia dynasty, the emperor's name was named Si. This is S-I is how you spell it. Now, it's got the Nu Zipang, which is the Nu radical, which is a 3-stroke radical. And I think I mentioned this before. We need to know how many strokes is in this part. And this looks, to me, it looks like 1, and then 2, 3, 4. But actually, it's not. It's 5. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you want to look this up, you're going to have to go and I'll give you an example. I'm in the wrong place. This is past history. Let's see if I can get this. Whoa, I'm in English mode. Oh, no. That's not what I was trying to do. I want to go to the radical strokes as if I don't know that it's SI. Okay, see, I forgot. I knew it, so I was going to go type it in. But that's not what I'm trying. I'm trying to teach you, in case you don't know it, how are you going to find it? All right, so it's a 3-stroke radical in the front, Nu Zipang. That's called the Nu Zipang. So I look for that in the 3-stroke category, and there it is. I open it up. And then if I look for it in here, followed by 4 strokes, doon, 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 doon. I don't see it. Doon, doon, doon. I mean, do you see it? Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. No, okay. Now I'm going to go into 5 strokes. Do you see it? There it is. Up. 4th tone, Si. Okay. Now, that's what you would have to do if you didn't recognize that. You would have to find it. And sometimes you're going to be off. Like, you're going to think, oh, well, this is how many strokes. It's 4 strokes. And then you'll be wrong, and you'll go look for it. You won't find it. Well, chances are, maybe, like, guess. Is it Is it less than 4 strokes? No, it can't be. Well, maybe it's more than 4 strokes by 1, and then you look it up that way. And then lo and behold, you find it. And even then, not 100% of the time. Okay, you could see if you were following along with me that at the outset it was better, and then it decided, oh well, I think to change that to xiaqiao, and it should be xiaqiao. Okay, now Dongyizu, what is that? The Eastern, and we're gonna look at this character. It's like some Eastern ethnic group or nationality, or some kind of nationality, but we'll look at that character a little bit closer. And then Shouling is going to be like the leader, the Lingdao, right? And it says the name is Ying, right? Okay, that's correct. Let me see. Xia Qiao Dongyi, Dongyi Zu, Shouling Xing Ying. Okay. So I'm assuming you know characters like Shouling, you know, guys, you should know that. And to win, that's a very common character, and we're seeing this character over and over again. Xing. So Shouling Xing Ying. Okay, that should be fairly simple. And then we have Zu, which we know this is always for nationality, means Zu. So we see this kind of character over and over again. If you passed HSK1 and you don't know this character, you need to get with the program or review Yuxi, Fuxi, Nianxi until you get it. And one way to do it is to read books, and that's why we're here now. I want to go back. This is Dongyizu, and I think I would take the Dongyi as, or you know, Dongyizu. I guess that could be one word, but I could be wrong. But let's just take this now. Okay, in the Xia dynasty, the emperor's name was Si. Right, and then in the Xia dynasty, the Dongyi nationality leader's name was Ying. Okay, now and why do we bring up Ying? Note that in the center of the character here we have the Ni radical, right? Okay, so let's see if we can use our tool, because this Dongyi, you may not be familiar with it. In some cases, it could mean Japanese, it could mean Koreans, or it could, and some translations may give it as the Eastern barbarians. Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to do here. This character is rare, so it's like how do I find this? Let's first go to the radicals and see if we can see. This is what's going to happen to you if you try to look this up. So the first thing, oh, I see this. Here's my, because yeah, I studied Chinese, so I kind of know where it's going to turn up. It's a 3-stroke radical. 3 strokes, and what does it mean? It means the bow, like a bow. Okay. Now, what did it have in addition to what we saw there? So let's go back and look at the character. Well, it's got the bow radical, and then what is this? if that was by itself, wouldn't it be da? Wouldn't it be? Something great. Okay, so that would be an additional 3 strokes. And look, it's not there. What are we going to do? Well, we go back to radical strokes. And how many do we have for da? 3. Okay, so here it is. So I would need da plus 3. Since bo is also a 3-stroke radical, if it's here, it's going to be in the 3-stroke category. Da plus 3. So let's look. Holy moly, there it is. Okay, and now we can go look it up. And it's second tone. Yi. Dong yi. Dong yi zu. Dong yi zu. Yi zu. Right? Okay. And the Eastern Barbarian. So if we had that, now we would know how to type it or whatever, know how to write it. And I don't know. You know, you may think this character Ying is hard, but when it's a very common word. So just remember it's Ying, the second tone, and here it's a name. Okay, so if I bring this phrase in here and paste it, hit go, I get something that's kind of marginally, no, it's not really comprehensible, right? But I would be remiss not to note, and I don't think I noted this originally, but you have the option right here. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to look it up character by character, and then it's going to be just a gobbledygook, right? But you've got an option here. Look this up in the word dictionary. So you click on that, right? And it's going to go, oh, Xia Chao, that's a word. It's the Xia dynasty. Xia Chao. And Dong Yi, the Eastern Barbarians, non-Han tribe living to the east of China in 2200 BC. Now, you will find Dongyi used at different times in different ways. In this particular instance, they talk about a very ancient use of it, which is probably the best one for us right now. But it can also mean the Japanese. It can also mean the ethnic groups or nationalities in the east of China, generally. And then you put that, and that's their nationality, Dongyizu. And then Shouling is the leader, and the name is the surname Ying, right? To win. Okay, so we'll go back, and today this is wow, it's amazing. There's so much to talk about in a class, and I want to keep them under 20 minutes or right around 20 minutes, and I've already gone over time. I guess today I talked a little bit of motivational speaking to try and share what inspires me in hopes that I could inspire you to learn how to read Chinese. Okay, so today we learned how to read. In the Xia dynasty, the emperor's name was Si, and in the time of the Xia dynasty, the Eastern Barbarian, the leader of the Eastern Barbarians' name was Ying, and all of these have what? They have the Ni radical. They have the Ni radical. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the next thrilling and exciting and inevitable and irrevocable and irreproachable and inimical, effervescent and ebullient episode of the Reading California of the World show thing, which this is. Join us again next time when we continue learning how to read Chinese, and I hope you'll review what we've gone over so far and practice your typing. And I won't stop you from practicing your handwriting. If you wanna do that, that also helps. it's important to stop looking at these characters as art, and when you actually write them, you begin to see them in a different way. You begin to break them down into their elements and learn the most important ones. Okay, so until next time, goodbye.